right, everybody, welcome to our monthly leaders training. I am super excited tonight. We have our special guest, star consultant Jamie Flores. It's coming on to share her flower parties. I had a training with her last week, and she was just talking to me about her flower parties, and she's so successful with them that I wanted her to come on and share not only how she does them with her customers, because she's already showed how successful she is with them, but we did a challenge where I'm like, go and do this with your team, girlfriend, and show them how to do it. So I can't wait to hear how she plans to do that. Also, when she's done, we're going to have some time for questions, so make sure you put your questions in the comments and she will get back to you as she's finishing up. After that, we're going to talk about, if we have time, because I want to give Jamie as much time as she needs. If we have time, we're going to talk about our road to promotion. I know we have leads, stars, and superstars in here, so I want to be able to address that. If we run out of time, I will do a part 2. Next week, we can actually open it up, or I'll just do a recording and post it so that you guys can see. But we're going to go ahead and remove my spotlight, and we are going to pin our guest speaker, Jamie Flores. And I'm super excited. Thank you for saying yes to the challenge, girlfriend. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your success with your fellow teammates. So we're going to go ahead and spotlight you, and I believe you are unmuted now, right? Go ahead and go for it. It's all yours.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jamie Flores. I am a mommy to a 6-year-old and a 1 on the way. Thank you, Ree, for having me tonight. I'm really excited. I know that I posted in our Squad Goals group and I got a lot of questions like in the comments, and then also people messaging me on the side. So I'm excited to kind of share for everybody. So my fragrance flower parties are in-person parties. And I started them last year in October. So my first theme was a Halloween theme. And this is the way I set it up. So I create a like little invitation on Canva. Actually, I can show you. Let's see. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I can post this in the group too. So it says, join us for a fragrance flower paint night. Join me for a night of coloring and fun. Markers, drinks, and snacks will be provided. And I usually order my flowers 2 weeks before the party. So if I set the date for if I set the date for the end of the month, then I would place my order Friday just because of the shipping delay right now, which is still pretty quick. And so that's the first step. Then I reach out to my customers. I have a lot of like flower buyers, so I always start with them, and I reach out to them and I say, hey, I'm having a flower party. I do it at my parents' house just because they have a big front yard, but this is something that you can do at a park so that you're outdoors. And so I'll reach out and I'll let them know that I'm having a flower party. I give them a date to pay by. So if my flower party's at the end of the month, then I'll tell them, okay, the payments are due, let's say tomorrow, the 6th, but I'd give them like a few days, right? So I'll tell them by the 6th, I'll place my order. And then once the orders come in, I separate everything. And then for the day of, I always like to give like Happy Mail. So instead of sending them Happy Mail or giving them like a little goodie bag the day of the flower party, I will have something for them. So I've done like cups with their initials. I've done wine glasses with names. I've done like little bags. So I always try to do something like cheap so that people feel special. And then I always either give like a scent circle or a wax bar as a thank you. And so by the time people arrive, I have everything set up. I set up a table. I do a different theme each time. So I've done Halloween, I've done Valentine's Day, like lovers and friends. I've done a wine theme. I've done a Hawaiian theme. And I think that's it. I think I've done two Halloweens now. And so I set up a table. Depending on how many people I have, I either do 2 separate tables or I do like one really long one. And then their flower is set up at whatever chair with their little goodie bag. And then I also set up like snacks and drinks the last few times I've started to set up a product table, and I can post pictures of that as well, because the first couple that I didn't have product. It was just strictly the fragrance flowers. So that kind of opens the door to other things. But once we get the party started, so everybody will get there, um, I have markers set up at the table. So I use little buckets, so different markers. People can grab whatever colors they want to use. And then the other thing that I do is an activity, and the activity also changes. So the last one that I did was like a wine with sip and paint. And so I went to the dollar store and they had little canvases. I think they were like this big with the little I forgot what it's called, with the little stand. And I had them do a competition. So I just had them do like the a fall, whatever fall picture they wanted to paint. And then we voted and someone won like a big prize. And because I had so many warmers that I got with product credit, that was like the big prize. I gifted a mini warmer and it was really fun and it was like competitive. I think people really like the competition of it. And so that's what I've done. That was the most recent one. I've also done like a box, like a little wooden box that you can get at Michael's or probably on Amazon. And I had everybody like paint and decorated it, and then we used it as a stand for their flowers. Um, I'm like trying to think. I've done different things. I've done t-shirt decorating, and I try to find all of these things like on sale or on clearance, or even like in bulk on Amazon, um, just so that it's not too pricey. And I usually give a price of $18 just because for me it's like 17 and some change for each flower. So I just round up so that it's easier. I don't charge anything extra um, for like all the like extra goodies. Like I said, those are just like a thank you that I give to them that day. And then I think that's it for day of. Um, Prepping beforehand, I think is like where all the legwork comes in. So I like to get everything set up the week of. And then I also send reminders because people tend to forget that they agreed to come to the flower party. So usually, like the day before, 2 days before, I'll say like, hey, I'm so excited to see you on Saturday. Looking forward to like our paint night. And then people will either respond. Sometimes people will say, you know what, I forgot, I made plans, but I still want my flower. Like, don't cancel me. And so for those people, I'll just package their flower like it was a regular order, and then I'll put the goodies that they would have gotten if they attended the in-person flower party. And then another thing that I do to kind of keep it fun and light is we do bingo. So we play bingo. I do giveaways and prizes. I raffle off different things. So everybody that attends, I write their name down on a piece of paper and then I put it in a bucket. And before everybody leaves, we'll do like a raffle and they'll win different prizes. And then we do bingo. And I do small things like I've done at the Dollar Tree, they have like makeup cleaners, like pineapples and hearts and different things. So I do little things like that. And then I do scent circles. If I have an influx of wax, then I'll do wax. And then some of the bigger prizes that I'll do are like Scentsy Fresh or Counter Clean, just to kind of keep it Scentsy related. And I think we've played Loteria. Like I try to keep the games pretty, pretty like light and fun because people tend to lose interest after a while. So we're always like keep it short and sweet. I also invite my family. So usually my family is the one, like are the people that will stay the longest, but I try to plan for about 2 hours. So I usually have a start time of 5. So we'll do like 5 to 7. And in that 2 hour range, we'll do our activity, we'll color our flowers, and then we'll just like have snacks and play games and things like that. So those are my in-person flower parties. I also wanted to share my on-the-go flower parties, which is what I posted in the group. So I have a bag like this. I always print out and attach it. I don't like to use like stickers and stick it to the bag. I like to use printouts so that I can change it for the next person. And I usually do their shopping link and then the forms of payment that I accept. And then inside the bag, I always gift them a flower. So this particular bag is going to someone that works at a dental office. And so I'm gifting her this, and usually I wrap it in a bag, but I wanted to be able to show you. So just the flower, the oil, and then the instructions and this cute little thing. And then I do the fragrance oils. So these little vials, I got them on the consultant store. I think they were like $6. I got them on clearance. And this time around, I just got all the oil myself with rewards. And then whatever scents we're going to continue in the catalog, I got them on sale last month. So I think I ended up paying for like 3 fragrance flowers because everything else I got with rewards. But I put them in these little things, and then I abbreviate because they're so small, but I only do the 14 cents or however many cents that are in the catalog. I know that we have like limited edition ones throughout, but I don't want them to sell out and then people are upset. So I stick to whatever's in the catalog and I put them in this little bag. So that'll go in here. And then I do inserts as well. So, and I can share this with you, but this is like a welcome to the party. So this just tells them what's included. So I have fragrance flower oil. I do a Scentsy Fresh sample, which I'll show you in a second, a counter clean, and then washer whips. And then I do this little, like how you earn your rewards with their shopping link, and then what you can use your rewards for. And then this is just talking about like shipping. So if they all want to ship it to one place to save on shipping, then it's that. And then this is a verbiage thing card that just tells them like how to reach out to their friends. I didn't create this template. Someone else created it and I kind of tweaked it to my own liking. But these are the things that I insert. And then I also have started to include a bundle and save because there's a lot of people that don't necessarily like flowers, but they do like Scentsy. So I always try to include something like this. And then I include my newsletter. So my newsletter, and then whatever inserts, like this month is this. And then I think I got this on the Canva group. So this talks about like the join special for the month, and then the new fall scents with the scented stickers, the brochure for the scent and the warmer of the month, and then our holiday collection brochure, and then order forms. And on the order forms, I like to highlight like what we need. So like their name, their address, their email, and phone number so that I have a way of contacting them, and then a catalog. So all of these things will go into their bag, and then they can look at it as they see fit. And so this person is going to put her flower in her dental office. So I've also included this thing that has like all of the scents and then her QR code so they can shop directly on it. I got this template from Wendy. This is not the newest one. This is the one from spring, I think, but I just keep reusing the same one over and over. But that is this one. And if they don't have, like if they're just gonna take it with their family, then I'll print this like on a 5x7 and then just include it with their inserts. And so I think I've had the most luck with in-person parties just because of the connection, and like that's a way for me to get to know my customers and for them to kind of see me around my family, and like I give them kind of an insight to me and I get to know them. And so I think that's it for fragrance flower parties. I know that there were some comments that came in, so I'm just going to look really quick to see, but if anybody else has more questions, let me know. To answer your question, Ree, my average attendance is about 15. The last one was only 12, but the people that didn't attend still ordered flowers. So I think that I've created like a good customer base that even if they're not attending, they're still ordering because I do it every 3 months. So that's about when they need their refills. So even if they don't attend, they're like, okay, give me my flowers. And then Nicole. This is like an engaging experience. So I provide the markers for them and then they decorate while we're there together. I have thought about, because for the next one, which would be the next one is in December, and I'm actually supposed to give birth in December. So I'm trying to figure out how to do the next one because people really want to have one in December. So what I'm thinking is doing something like a take home. So just putting a little bag together and then like 2 color markers, and they can do it at home and then send me pictures and do a little competition, because we always like kind of vote on which flower they like the most. And so the winner will always take a little prize. I haven't had anybody ask for a refund. So I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I usually just pack their order and then give them their flowers separately. I have 3 flower parties, like on the go flower parties. And I might actually do one the last weekend of October because a lot of people are reaching out for an in-person since they missed the one in September. So I might do one on the 28th. So that would be 4 if I do that. I sometimes will have one that's preset. Is that what you're asking me? Like if I have one, how to create a look thing, like if I have a flower that's pre-made? Yeah, sometimes I will, because they ask for ideas, or I'll print out little pictures, which I didn't do right now, but I'll print out little pictures of different ones, or I'll show them on my phone. Like if you want this look, then use these colors, or that kind of thing. I don't talk about Scentsy really at the flower parties, only because most of these people are already familiar with Scentsy. So what I have started to do is set up a product table, because sometimes they need refills. Like the first, like I mentioned at the very beginning, the first couple of times I didn't have any product on hand. Like I was just trying to do a flower party and people kept asking. And so now I set up one like 6-foot table. I usually do the warmer of the month or the warmer of the month for next month if it's towards the end of the month. I have a few extra flowers. I do counter clean, scent circles, Scentsy Fresh, and pods. So I keep it really light, and then scent packs, because that's another thing that people really like. Um, and I haven't hosted any at their house. Everything comes to my house. I do have people that bring people with them, so they don't want to necessarily host, so they just join my party. Like I have one cousin that I've asked her if she would be interested, because she lives in Fontana, and hosting her own with her friends, and they prefer to drive out to me, which I'm in Pasadena. So usually I just do my own flower party and then have people bring guests. And then if they do bring a guest, then I'll give them like a little extra for the referral. I do have flowers to purchase at the party. I don't do very many extras. I used to do a lot, but now because I do customize gifts, I don't like people to be like left out. So I have them confirm with me that they're attending the party, so that I have something for them. Like I have done like blank wine glasses or blank cups, but um, I don't want people to feel bad. So I try to do confirmations, but I do accept like last minute. I just let them know, like I actually did a customization, but unfortunately, since you just joined, I just have like the bag or the cup for you. Are there any other questions or anything else that you want me to talk about, Ree? Sorry, I think you're muted.
Can you tell us your plan, how you're going to do this with your team, how
Oh,
you're
yes.
changing it into the leader's perspective and how to do this?
Yes. So this time around, I actually just did all the oils on my own. But I want to create like a team bonding with them. And so I have I'm hoping that most of them can come in person, but if not, we're going to do a Zoom option as well. for next Sunday, the 15th is what we're looking at. And I already have the oils that I used and I have the little vials. So I'm just going to ask them to bring like a snack if that's something that they want to do. And then I'll set up a table with all the oils and then the little like squeezer things. And we'll just kind of do like a line, like one person does this scent, one person does that scent. And then we'll go from there and I'll let them take home the little vials. Like everybody will have a set that they can use. And then I'd also like to plan for the next one, like everybody bring 1 or 2 flowers. That way it's a collective thing and we can get together come spring and do this again.
Christina has a question.
Oh, sorry. I do make them, Christina. I do the 14, I think this time around there's 14 in the catalog. So I only do the 14 scents that are in the catalog. I don't do like I'm not going to do one for the breast cancer and I didn't do for the villains. I try to stick to whatever's in the catalog so that if it, our limited edition ones sell out, then sorry, I think I was muted. What was the last thing that I said or that you heard? Rian, I think you're muted now.
It was right when you said it was fine. We had somebody come
Okay.
in and when they come in, it mutes everybody, but I fixed it right.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I do make the oils for all of them. And this is why I also want to do the team bonding thing so that we can all have a set and people have an idea of how to put this together on their own. So I'll also have like the inserts for my teamies when we do our in-person meeting. And I can share the Canva links with everybody as well. But are there any other questions that people have?
That was really good, Jamie. And if you guys have questions, go ahead. Oh, Christina says with the samples, do they smell a little different than just having them with the wax samples we get?
In my experience, they do smell a little bit different. So that's why I decided to start using the oil because I think it was a cozy cardigan. I let someone smell the cozy cardigan wax sample and it smelled very different when the oil arrived. And so she wasn't like super happy. And so I took that as a learning experience. I had an extra flower, so we just swapped it out for her. But now I've kind of learned to keep the oils on hand. And something that Wendy taught us was to like kind of wave the oil in front of your nose and not like sniff it so that they can get a better sense of what the oil smells like.
That's so true because when you get that whiff from the flower, it's not in your face. It's kind of like a passing fragrance. So Vicky said, so from your flower party, do your guests reorder products aside from the flowers?
Yes. So the last flower party that I had, I sold like $225 in a product that I had there, and that was like wax refills, warmers, and pods. So I try to just keep what I sell the most, I guess you can say. Yeah, it smells a little bit different in wax and oil. I think that's it, Ree. If anyone has questions, feel free to message me and I'd be happy to walk you through it or provide more concrete answers or more detail. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. That was so good. Thank you for sharing. And yes, please share your templates. We would love that. I know it's super helpful for those that are wanting to do it and just a little bit intimidated by the process. So being able to start with templates that are already made is super helpful. So thank you again for sharing with us. I'm very, very blessed to have you in our leadership. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our road to promotion. We are going to kind of breeze through this because I want to touch lead, star, and superstar just really briefly. In our road, it's okay, Melissa. People, have things to do. You're fine, girlfriend. In our road to promotion, we are going to focus majority on ourselves. And I know maybe sometimes you want to focus on our team because we have to promote, but it starts with us. And I want to make sure that we have a solid foundation in who we are as an individual consultant before we jump into trying to focus on helping them achieve their goals. So we're going to talk about us first, and we're going to talk about our PRV. What is your consistent PRV? I want you guys to put in the chat your average consistent PRV. Reason being is that is one of, well, the first leg of success is PRV, sales, okay? Super huge. If we don't have sales, we don't have a business, right? If we're not bringing in sales, then we need to pause there for a second and not to. I would say, Jamie, maybe the last 3 months. What is your average PRV each month? 3 to 500 lately. Yes, it's 500 to 1,000. 500 in a slow month. 1,800 to 2K. 1,000 to 1,400. Perfect. If our PRV is not consistently at 500, we need to put a pin in leadership. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that we have, and this is what we have to train our teamies as well, okay? And I'm saying everything that I say today, I want you guys to take back and train your teamies on it as well, because I think there's a piece missing from leadership training to pouring out into our other teamies, right? So if we are not consistently 500 PRV, that should be our minimum as leaders. Why? Because if we don't hit 500, it doesn't matter what our teamies do. Doesn't matter how much we recruit. We are not getting one single penny on our team if we do not hit 500 PRV. And why? Because Sensi does that to protect us from being a pyramid scheme where we recruit people and just sit back and make money on people. That's not how our business works here in Sensi. In Sensi, we have minimum requirements to get paid and bonus on our team. Okay, so we're not just sitting back and doing nothing. We have a minimum of 500 that we should be doing. If you are not, which I think I'm looking at everybody here right now, I'm pretty sure everybody does 500. So we're good there. I don't need to pause there too long. However, I do want to make sure that you guys are training your teamies that way. Also had a recent conversation with one of my frontline, and she thought as long as her team is working that she gets paid, even though she's had 0 PRV in the last 2 months. And I said, have you checked your pay? Have you checked your pay? Because you didn't get paid on PRV and you didn't get paid on leadership. So what's missing? What's missing is she needs to work her business in order to get bonus, and that's only right. Okay. Let's sit on PRV for a minute. As leaders, PRV is the most important thing that we can teach our team aside from sponsoring. If we're not doing PRV, we have no business talking to them about sponsoring, in all honesty. Let's sit on sales. How many parties have you booked? As a leader, I know we just talked about flower parties. Jamie's doing her thing. And it's okay. We're being transparent. And when I say parties, I don't necessarily mean home parties. It could be a text share. It could be a Facebook Live. It could be a catalog share. It can be a Facebook Live. I don't know if I said that already. It could be a home party. It could be a fundraiser. It could be an office party. When is the last time? Put it in the chat. We're not judging. This is self-reflecting time, because when we come in and do our leadership chats, it's because we're self-reflecting, and that's the only way we grow as leaders is if we put our defenses down and we're really honest about where we're at. Because if you're struggling with PRV, chances are, I would say 95% that you're not partying anymore. Okay, and it doesn't mean, like I said, a home party. Francis said I throw them out there, but haven't booked any other than my own self party? Okay, let me ask you this, Francis. How often are you talking to your customers about hosting? How often are you posting about hosting? Text share, Facebook, catalog share. Jamie has 4. Christina, your own party for the launch of the new catalog. And I like that you said that, Christina, because when I don't have any parties on the books, I throw my own, and I'm either doing something here at my house and I'm inviting people to come and sniff the new collection, the new LTOs, a setup, come shop type of thing, or I am doing a Facebook Live in my VIP, creating our own opportunities. Maria said January through August 0, September through October 4, and 2 failed. And you're going to have that, Maria. Thank you for saying that. Some people get discouraged because their parties fail and they give up. Oh, party's not for me. Let me tell you this. If you don't party, your business is going to die. You have to keep making new customers. And that's going to come through, okay, friend, does that make sense? When your mouth is closed about a certain area, that area is not going to succeed. Where your focus is where your success will be. And I know sometimes it's easier just to post product and get our own sales, but your customer base will die out. Eventually, they're going to get sick of buying. Eventually, they're going to be sensing out and they're going to take a break. That's just the reality of it. We need to continuously meet new people. And how much easier is it when your friends or customers bring their friends to our table, right? We are working even harder and we're frustrating ourselves because we're posting. Nobody wants to buy. I'm low on PRV this month. Nobody wants to buy. I'm posting. Nobody's buying. I'm posting. We have to party again. We have to text share. We have to in-person gather. We have to Facebook Live. We have to ask for referrals at these places. For instance, when I have my party on Sunday, and I posted a little bit about this, my goal is to book at least 3 parties off of that party. When you put yourself in the situation in a party, text, Facebook Live, catalog, you are opening yourself up to more people, which gives you more opportunity to book more parties. I have little boo baskets that they're going to get if they book for home and blah, blah, blah. Go into the mindset that every customer has a reach of at least 20 new people for you. How many customers do you have right now? 20, 30, 40, 50 times 20. But you have to open your mouth. You have to talk about it. You have to, and I was talking to Miguel today on his coaching call, and he was like, I've already asked people, and I know he won't mind. I've already asked people, but they say no, and I feel like they don't want to. Don't answer for them. For instance, my girl that's partying on Sunday, her Mimosa Sunday party, she said no to me probably 28,000 times to party. And then I asked her again 2 weeks ago. And she's like, you know what? I said, let's do a girls' day. Let's get your girlfriends together because I know she has a lot of girlfriends because she posts. Watch people's posts and approach them according to how they post. If you see them at the coffee shop all the time, if you see them at the park, do a park gathering, do a coffee gathering, if you see them drinking, do a sip and snip. Offer them like that and say, you know what, let's get your girlfriends together. I'll bring some stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be light. And that's how I got her. I said, you know what, girl, let's get your girlfriends together. I'm sure they're ready for a girls' day out. And she's like, you know what, that sounds really good. Let's do it. So just like that, after 28,000 times of telling me no, she finally said yes. Do not answer for people, okay? And you may say, I've already asked people. Okay, and what I did with Miguel on our training call today, we changed our approach. Who is your last party that you had? I hope you're not going to say I never had a party. Because if you never have a party, then that's something you really need to focus on. One way or another, text, share, gathering, catalog, Facebook Live, in whatever. Something you need to focus on. Take a picture, go back into the sales history, take a picture of what that person earned. If it was home party and they posted pictures, get that picture and talk about that. and show how fun it is. Show your setup, show what you're taking. If it's a catalog bag for to show your bag. If it's a text share your link. Look at how easy it can be, right? People don't know what they don't know. If you're not partying, you need to party. Okay, that is, I can probably put money on 95% of why you are struggling with sales is because you stopped partying. Simple as that. Your customers are done. And that happens. Nothing you did wrong. Having events, having your own events. I told Teresa Mendias, I think that's how you say her last name. She didn't have anything on the books. I said, set up a pop-up outside your house. Go on Facebook and look for local events. If you don't have money for events, set up outside of your house. Ask your boss if you could set up in your office. I mean your break room, just a little small setting with testers. Expand your reach. Okay. How's your customer follow-up as a leader? You have a system? As leaders, we need to have a system in place, because as we build our teams, you're going to have less and less time to be able to work with all of this stuff if your team is getting bigger and bigger and you have no systems in place. And I've talked about this for the past couple years, and it's like the same people, and it's okay, but it's time to make a decision that you're going to have a follow-up system. I posted in the squad my follow-up sheet that I use. Very, very simple. Oh shoot, I don't know if I put it in my, damn it. It's a very simple follow-up, and it says the name of the person, the order processing, if it's in posted, if it's in printed, if it's in shipped, and follow-up, and then 2 week, 2 day, 2 week, 2 month. Simple. We should be following up just like that. It's a system. If you don't have a system in place, you guys, you need to get a system in place for follow-up, for customer follow-up, because again, you are not going to have time as your team gets bigger. And Nicole can vouch for this. Her team is getting bigger and she's a busy mom. She needs to have a custom. I don't know if she does. I'm just saying, or doesn't. I'm just saying, having a customer follow-up is important. There is fortune in the follow-up. So many people slip through our fingers because we don't follow up. And guess what? When they see me at a pop-up, they're going to be like, I haven't heard from my Scentsy girl, so I'm just going to stock up right here. We're losing customers to other Scentsy consultants that are following up. Okay. Let's see. Jamie said last month she had 2. Nicole, I put up calendars in my VIP page with incentives. People don't respond. It's been a minute, but the last few customers that I've asked, they all said no thanks. Okay, let's talk about that. We're going to have the customers that say no. Okay. How we approach them. Have you, what I just said, have you changed the way you approach them and maybe think of something custom and personal for them that would hit home? It may be a fundraiser. Maybe you have, I know Jamie, I think you did something for Luis, right? Fundraiser for her son. If somebody came to Jamie and said, hey, Jamie, I'm interested in partnering with you to do a fundraiser for, and I hope you don't mind if I say, okay, for autism. I know your son has autism, right? Okay, so if somebody comes to Jamie and says, you know what, I would love to partner with you and raise money for autism. I see how much you're advocating for this, and I would love to partner with you. What do you think of that? Versus, hey, do you want to party with me and you want to get some free stuff? Jamie's more likely to be like, you know what, that's awesome. Thank you for caring about other kids, including my son. Like, that's awesome that you want to contribute. How we word things and how we approach is huge. So maybe all of the things that we've been approaching with is just not the way, and we have to shift, right? We have to shift in the way we approach. What do you think of that, Nicole? Can you think of anybody, you guys, in your VIP groups, in your customers? There's the breast cancer awareness collection. If somebody battling, is somebody's mom battling, is somebody's sister battling, reach out to them and say, hey, I would love to raise some money to donate on your mom's behalf. What do you think if you try to sell a few of these collections, and we'll donate this money to your mom, to your mom's whatever charity she wants to choose. Make it personal. Do you have somebody that loves dogs? I would love to partner with you to do a fundraiser to buy dog food and shampoo for dog kennels around, right? Let's change the way we address things. Okay. Nicole said my mom's coworker had a large order on Harvest and made it into a quick basket party to get her off. That's awesome, Nicole. You made that happen. Fran said it's easier just to post, LOL. But I'm not on that, and that's here the introvert in me kick in. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to communicate. Yeah, friend, I get it. I totally get it. It's easier just to post, but what are your results? You're working so much harder to try to keep the people you have versus making new. You always want to keep the people you have. That's not what I'm saying, but you need to keep building new new customers. All right, Fran, let's do it. She had one 2 months ago. Christina had one on 10/13 for a home party. Those are my favorite. Christina, make sure you are prepared, girlfriend. Make sure you ask all the questions on the squad goals page and ask for advice, ask what people do. That way you could customize it and be prepared. The more exciting and more interested you keep your people, the more likely they are going to want to book their own parties. Okay, so make sure you're ready, girlfriend. Melissa said my goal is 3 in a month, but I have 2 this month. I'm working on 3. Good job. Your last party I closed on the 1st. That's great, girl. Fran had an event. Christina said I stopped hosting party because I was too booked for events, but definitely took a toll on my PRV. 100% will. And I know you do a lot of pop-ups, Christina. If you can do your home parties again, get back into those because those are very much intimate. You're able to spend more time with people, get to know people more, and one-on-one type of things. I do encourage you to do that. Maria said, I stepped up on following your follow-up system, which I noticed this is a great way to build relationships, 100%. And it doesn't even have to be about Scentsy. You guys, teach your teamies that. It doesn't have to be, hey, do you want to order? Do you want to refill? No, hey, girlfriend, just checking up. I have one that her mom's battling cirrhosis of the liver, and they just found out of nowhere she's stage 4. So I messaged her, hey, girlfriend, I'm praying for your mom. Hey, girlfriend, how's your mom doing? Oh, she's doing so good. Thank you so much for asking. Hey, by the way, can I order a 6-pack? I don't even have to ask. When people know you care about them as a person, not just as a customer, they're more open to you and they trust you. But that comes in building relationships. Teach your team that, you guys. It's okay, Christina. What type of games? We're not going to go into that here. Ask on the team page because I want people to give you their feedback. Because that way it's not going to turn into like a party type of a home party type of thing. But ask on the page and you'll have lots of feedback. Okay. How much are we capitalizing on Scentsy Club? The Scentsy Clubbers that we have in there, are we taking care of them? Are we talking about club? Are we getting that passive income? If we're not, I want to question because I don't know too much about club. Stop saying you don't know and get on there and teach yourself. Okay? You cannot sit there and blame not knowing always and forever, because then you will always have that crutch. Whatever you want to learn, you can learn. I don't like club, 100%. I mean, I love the passive income. I don't like it because I struggle with it. Okay, I have a good amount, but I feel like I should have more. And I feel like if I really put my attention on it, then it would grow. And when I did, it did. But you need to know what you're talking about. So I encourage you, go on the workstation, look up Scentsy Club in the training and do yourself a training. Sit yourself down, time block. As a leader, we have to learn to time block because we are going to be responsible for a team now that we can't just ignore. If you ignore your team, you will lose your team eventually. Little by little, they'll start to fall off, or they're not going to respect you and they're not going to answer you and they're going to ignore you and just be like, girl, don't text me because you want to hit numbers. Okay. Jamie says struggle to get subscribers, so I have a goal to watch Scentsy Club videos on YouTube. Good, very good. If you struggle in an area, learn it. Okay, specials, LTOs, the whiff box. Let's move on. So you got your 500 minimum PRV, minimum. because or else your team doesn't exist pretty much. You don't get a penny on them. Now let's talk about sponsoring. What does our sponsoring look like? And being 100% transparent, for the last, I have recruited in the past 2-3 months. I brought in maybe 3 to 4 people, and they're people, and I say this with all due respect, it's just they're not working. Okay, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, and that's going to happen. Cannot force anybody to work. You can be there for them. Let me ask you, and put this in the chat. How did you reach out to your people on the first of the month and say, hey, just checking in. What's your goals? Tell me what's your goals for October. Let's put something in place for you. For the first week of the month, I don't focus on my team, on my front line. However, I do text them because I want to know their plan. So when I'm working my business and I have my extra time, then I can start looking and helping them put a plan together. And I'm not trying to find out their plan a week later. When I get back to them, I'm helping them with their plan. I reach out once a week and get nada. Okay, we'll talk about that. We should be reaching out on the 1st, the 15th, and the 30th, or the last day of the month, regardless if they're ignoring us or not. Because, hear me out, once you hit director and you don't work with your team, and your teamies complain about you to Sensi, and you're audited, your team can get taken from you if you're not working with them. I don't know if you know that. I will try to get involved to salvage that, and I've had to recently with a couple people. But if you don't work with your team and you're not reaching out to them, if you're not checking if they need help, yes, we are independent consultants, but we are a leader. We cannot forget to lead our people. Lead by example. Show them how we're working. And if you are sponsoring and you're not training and you're not having an onboarding system in place and you're bringing them on board and throwing them in squad and forgetting about them, you need to stop doing that. Please, for the love of God. Because you're bringing in people and they're struggling because they have never been trained. If you have a teamie under you that's sponsoring and you know that sponsor is not training their team, you have permission to reach down and touch them in their business. If you've contacted your teamie and said, hey, how's it going? Is Carol working? How's Carol working? Does she need help? Has she been trained? And they're flat out ignoring you. That's your green light to work down. We cannot let these people slip through our fingers because they're not being trained. We can't. It's happened too much. For a while, I was like, you know what? If they don't want to work with their team, then that's fine. Then their team's just going to fall off. But it's not fair. It's not fair to these teamies that really want it and they just don't know how to start. Because not everybody has the initiative to get in and figure things out on their own. It's just natural for some people they don't. And that's okay. And if you haven't been reaching out to your teamies, I encourage you to start tomorrow morning. It's okay. It's okay to restart. But you have to be open and you have to be honest. Like, you know what? I'm so sorry I haven't been present the past couple of months, weeks, whatever. But I want to partner with you. And I want to know your goals for October. And I want to help you reach your goals. Be humble. Don't be like, oh, hey, girl, what's up? What's your goals? And they're going to be like, dude, she came out of nowhere. Who is this chick? Okay, just be humble and be honest. 2/3 response, 2 nada. Okay, that's actually good. 2 out of 3. My team, we talk every day. Melissa, you are doing amazing. I'm so proud of you, girl. And let me say this. If your teamies don't respond to you, that doesn't mean you're not doing great. It just means that you need to keep building, and those people are not going to be the ones that build with you. Okay, they're going to be people that either fall off or they're going to put orders here and there, and that's okay too. Jamie said I have a teamie who has a teamie but cannot work with her right now because of her personal issues, but she did ask me to step in with her. That's great, and that's what needs to happen, and that's why we need to be communicating with our leaders under us. If we have leaders that are not, we need to try to find out why. If there's a valid reason, let them know, hey, okay, I'm going to step in and I'm going to work with them until you feel like you can get back into it. When you do, let me know, because then I want to take my hands off and I want you to work with them. Communication is everything. Okay, but we can't just give up on them. We cannot give up. Do you want to know how many people say thank you so much for never giving up on me when they were in their seasons where they didn't care or they didn't know or whatever? Don't give up on them. Do not give up on them. If we're not sponsoring at least one a month, our team is going to die. They fall off faster than they come. Okay? One a month, you might be thinking, dang, I haven't even been able to recruit 2 to 3. I mean, for the one a month for the past 2 to 3 months. I want you to really take a step back and I want you to look at yourself and be like, am I really, really trying consistently to sponsor? Am I consistently doing the behaviors it takes to sponsor? Or am I randomly throwing out the net hoping I find something? I talked to my gal today in regards to social media. When I do trainings, I will look at your social media. I think I looked at yours too, Jamie, right? I will look at your social media and I'll say, it doesn't even look like you are a Scentsy person, not hers. I'm just saying, I don't see any type of sponsoring stuff. I don't see your Scentsy life. I don't see how Scentsy has benefited you. I don't see your trip you just took to SFR. I don't see you posting when you get your paycheck, what you're doing with your paycheck. People want to know what Scentsy does for you. Otherwise, we're just posting about wax and warmers, and people may not even have the money for that right now. But if we're talking about, I think I talked to Ashley Ramirez about this today. If we're talking about when we get paid, we're headed to the market to fill our fridge. That's real life, you guys. There are people right now that can't afford groceries, that are struggling every day to put food on the table. If we have that opportunity and we're keeping our mouth shut, when I say Scentsy blesses lives and changes lives, I mean that. If Carol hadn't opened her mouth to me 6.5 years ago, who knows what situation I would be in, the circumstances I'm in right now. I'm just being honest. I wouldn't be able to take care of myself and my kids with the income that Scentsy has brought me. When you get paid on payday, I want to see all your payday stuff. You don't have to get personal and be like, oh, I'm paying my light bill or whatever. You don't have to do that. You could if you want. But Ashley said she was due for a grocery trip. And I said, share that. When you're putting gas, share that. You know how many people are putting $5, $10 right now because they can't afford gas? Be vulnerable. Be real. People relate to real. We have to pick up our sponsoring, you guys. We have to. I would say in the squad goals group, sponsoring is our area of opportunity. Okay. And I'm just being transparent. I'm like, I love sponsoring. I'm passionate about sponsoring. How come the group isn't sponsoring? We need to talk about it and we need to keep going and we need to be relentless and we need to be consistent. And I'm not saying post flyers all day. People don't want to see flyers. That's why they're not engaging. They don't want to see, here, join my team. Why should they join your team? Who cares? Why should they? It's because Scentsy is a blessing and can help them in so many ways. There's so many depressed people right now. There's so many people that don't have community like we have here, that can just come in here, ask for prayer, that could come in here and laugh, that could come and get together like Jamie's and Miguel and Roslyn and all them get together, like Gina and Nicole and Jackie, that have built relationships through Scentsy, that they have each other to lean on. It's so much more than ourselves, you guys. Oh, I don't want to be uncomfortable. Oh, I don't want to ask again. I don't want. Notice where they're at. When we start to do this, you guys, when we start having high PRV and when we start sponsoring consistently, you are going to promote naturally. It's not going to be forceful, and it's not going to be blaming your team, and it's not going to be pulling your team for every single PRV cent that they could possibly do so you can meet numbers. And when they come on, I hope to God that you guys take onboarding seriously. I talked to a couple people that I reached out to this month. They've never been on. They came in, they were thrown in, and hey, it happens. If you notice people like that, you guys are leaders. It doesn't even have to be your team. Reach out and partner with them. I've seen it happen in several groups, and I love it. I freaking love it. I want to stop there, and we'll do a part 2 on the other two, because sales and sponsoring is the biggest part. And I want us to focus on that this week. And not only us, I want you guys to go back and teach your team that. There can't be a breakdown. Don't be a sponge that soaks in all this stuff and keeps it. I want you to be a sponge, soak it all up, and then go squeeze it back onto your team so they can start working on their PRV. So they can understand that they're struggling with PRV because they're not partying, because they're not text sharing, because they're not offering catalog parties or gatherings or whatever you want to say. I want you to go share your customer follow-up system with your team so that they can understand that there's fortune in the follow-up, and not let all these people pass them by. When is the last time you have asked your teamies how their follow-up system is? If you haven't, that's okay. Start tomorrow. Put that on your to-do list. Hey, you know what, girlfriend? I was wondering, do you have a follow-up system? How often do you follow up with your customers? What does that look like? Show me. I want to help you. It's okay if you haven't. Start tomorrow. I can promise you, probably 75 to 80% of our teams don't have follow-up systems. That's scary. I want you guys to do that. I want you to challenge yourself as their leaders and say, you know what, I might not have my follow-up system in place, but I'm going to do that today, tomorrow, and then I'm going to reach out to my team, and I'm going to ask them how they're doing. And if they need help, I'm going to share what works for me or what I'm doing now. And sponsoring too. When is the last time you asked your teamies if they're ready to build a team, they're ready to sponsor, if they're ready to make more money? If you haven't, ask them. Hey, I know you're certified, and I know when you joined, you said you're not interested in sponsoring, but I do want to have a follow-up conversation with you to see if anything in your life has changed, that you may need a little bit more cash, because people's lives change all the time. We're going to end it there. I want you guys to focus on that. Focus on sales, partying again. I want you to shout it out on squad goals when you book a party. I want to hear your feedback on Jamie, what she shared on her flower party. I want to hear that you guys are booking flower parties. I want you to comment on her post when she shares so generously her templates that she's made and or tweaked or whatever. I want you guys to actually take the tools, use them, and I want you to share them with your team. I want you to tag your teamies in the post, because that's what leaders do. Leaders lead by example. Leaders share information. Leaders communicate and you're the best. Leaders share what works and continues to funnel that down. If you're not leading from the front, who the hell are you leading? Yourself? That's not called leading, that's doing your own thing. But anyhow, I want to end it there. I want to hear your guys' feedback, and I want you to blow up leadership. I want you guys to lead from the front. Talk about parties, talk about sponsoring, talk about follow-up systems. Okay, I love you guys, and I'm so proud of you for showing up. Every time you show up, you're investing in yourself and you're investing in your team. Whatever you learned here, go back and share it, please. Okay, all right. I love you guys. Have a good night. So proud of you. Take care. We'll talk soon.